Yo, Hostile World. Welcome to yet another bombshell of an episode, peoples. With the Hostile Bros, and we live and direct, bringing to you some top notch topics from the NBA and also F1. We talking F1 today. Last week was preseason testing, something that diehard fans look forward to because it gives us a little bit of insight, even though some people say there's no insight. There's a little bit of insight that can be gleaned from preseason testing. So we can talk about that. And we can talk also about the NBA standings, both in the East and in the West, and pretty much bring you up to date on what's been going on in the NBA over the last week. But as always, peoples, before we get into anything at all, it got showed up my Hostro bros. So, fellas, how was the week, man? How you guys doing? Right, well, we can start with you. People
Uh,
interested to know how you're doing.
just doing as good as I can, trying to catch as much NBA action when the week come. Excited to see what's new for F1 this week. Uh, Preseason testing. Uh, I see some rumors out there that Red Bull could possibly be faster than they showcase. So it's looking a little scary for the F1 season. Looking a little
The old
daunting already.
soundbiting trick.
Yeah. So interested to see what's going to happen this week in F1 for sure. But the NBA action has been heating up as well. Teams jostling for position in the conference. So we're going to go through all of it today. So excited for everything we got on the show today, man.
Nice, nice. Hawks, you can't forget you, my brother. How's life? What's the vibe?
Man, the vibe is chill. Life is good. The usual work, gym, food, trying to have some fun every now and then. But I'm good. I'm good. Today I tried to get a quick gym workout before I came here, and I actually I squatted about 4 or 5, and for 4 reps, and that's the first time I did 4 reps at that weight. So I feel pretty good.
Jeez, big yourself.
The road to 500 begins. But
Man, getting ready for crop over, boy, Rayvon.
I don't know what he got getting ready for saying for more than that crop over 4 or 5.
I
Come
don't
on,
know.
dog.
But other than that, I'm good. Just I'm still in a good spot. So yeah, right. And been watching some NBA, watching some games, trying to get up to date a bit with F1, trying to dabble into the F1 a little more. Other than that, and
Mm-hmm.
things are good. Things are good.
Nice, nice. My week was cool too, man. Like I
Mm.
had a pretty pot week in terms of being busy doing things here and there, work, home, the usual and more. So was a chill week, but I doing good as well. So without any further talk, let me dive into this peoples. The
Yes, sir.
NBA Eastern and Western conferences are pretty close right now. And we've known that the West is probably the more competitive course in the NBA, but the East is also showing some very close, for lack of better terms, racing for the top spot in that conference.
Well, everything except the top spot, rather. The Celtics is the only team
Oh
part of
yeah,
this list that head above heels, well, head above water over everybody else. So they're just destroying the competition. Well, say the Celtics, everybody else trying to really fight the
Looking
way
like a
through.
pretty even field.
Yeah, trying to fight the way through, boy. Um, we got the Bucks too, who we would say that haven't been performing as well as we thought they were. Their record does not reflect the team that they are. I think it's been a little
hmm
bit overstated if you look at their record, but haven't been that great a team. But coming out to the break, they've been one of the better teams. They got a quality win over the Timberwolves when the game started back on Thursday. That was a good sign. And they had a pretty convincing win over the Sixers yesterday. But the Sixers without Joel Embiid, so the fact that Joel Embiid too is out has left the race for the top seeds in the East wide open. Just to comment on Hakeem from last week, predicting that the Sixers would probably fall into the playing race. And
And it's
right now,
falling.
the way how they're
falling.
looking, you spot on, boy. they're falling right
falling.
down. And I as I echo what he was saying, I don't think Tyrese Maxey is capable of carrying the load as yet. He's not that
Mhm.
type of player in my eyes, and Embiid is such a big piece to me. So some some smaller teams like the Magic or anybody like that, maybe even the Bulls that started out this season so shaky and that I've been a proponent for them to break it all up and start over, may even make it somewhere into the
Yeah, you
playoffs.
might have
So
a chance.
the East is stacked all the way from 2 to 10. Like not many games separate them. Um,
Mhm.
well, the middle of the part is very very tight. As you can see, we got the Knicks, the the Sixers, pretty much only a game away. The Pacers, a game and a half away from the Knicks. The Heat, a game away for the Pacers. And it goes on in the Magic. You only really get some separation here when you come out to the Bulls and the Hawks, but from 1 to 8 from 2 to 8 in the East is tight. Uh, you could roll a dice and pick who's gonna top get the number 2 seed at this point because um
Mhm.
the Pacers have been playing well. They may go on a run and get some rattle off some wins while the Bucks lose some. So like it could go anywhere right now, anywhere in the East, especially in the middle order there from two all the way down to eight. We say
You
Yeah,
think Charlotte might got a chance to squeeze? Do they
no
have
way,
enough games left to Charlotte
who's that?
Hornets?
Come
no way,
on,
My voice,
come
who's that?
on,
no way.
Don't
come
diss the
on.
order. Don't diss
They
the
got this
order.
the order. There's no way that the Hornets are
L-
doing anything right now. They should be losing. They should be
Look at
trying to lose as much as they
Raptors.
can.
Look at
Get a better
Raptors.
pick.
Look at Brooklyn. They only got 6 games from Hornets right now. If they go on a losing streak, is it's going to be a battle to try to get just above that line. I mean, maybe Atlanta has to, have a terrible time as well, but hey, it's the NBA and I don't think that anybody right now should be comfortable other than Wizards and Detroit. Obviously, they're way too far behind, but I don't know if Charlotte
Right,
put
right,
things together, they could probably squeeze.
right. No hands. I didn't know who you on with.
I don't know where you're going
Fair,
with this Hornets thing.
because right now
Being in the middle is the worst.
the Hornets are so far behind. I want to say it's virtually impossible for them. They got to win 10 games, and you got to hope that Atlanta Hawks lose 10 games to even catch them. I can't see it. 57 games
Yeah.
they played, so they got about over 20, 23 more games, 25 more games left back,
Mhm.
and no way. Charlotte done. They right now, as everyone said,
Hey,
they should start tanking. Hopefully, they get a better draft
I'm
pick. Cause
championing
they need some
the
draft capital.
Hornets.
Yeah.
They need some
As
draft
I always say, the
capital.
worst place to be in the standings in the NBA is in the middle because you don't really get that good of a draft pick and you don't really get an end of your season because you don't making the playoffs. So
Yep,
like the Hornets, yeah, they win 15 games, which is terrible, but
awful.
It
they're
is.
gonna win the street. No, how does that help them? Anyway, like they want pick, they want talent. They lack so much talent. They got rid of some of their talent at the trade deadline with PJ Washington going out.
And Roser.
Like the lost Garden Hero as well. The traded Garden
So
Hero. So right now, them should be looking for picks, not wins.
so you saying that they should try to lose?
They are losing, but they should
Um,
maintain their
they can
losing.
lose.
They
Try
should
There's
harder.
maintain
no
it.
way that.
Rest the
Yeah.
key players essentially. Just rest the key players. If you have any key players, rest them. Any players that
Well, you
keep it
can't
for
really
that
do
season.
that right now with the new
Yeah, you
rules
can't do it no,
anyway.
but I just
So
saying
yeah.
they
Well,
they're not gonna
no,
win.
no, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
think that they're going to win,
The
even when they
rules
play.
state for stars. If you made an all-star team for the last 2 years, they only have one all-star, and that's Lamelo. And he didn't even make it. He's not made it in the last 2 years. So technically, the rule doesn't play to them.
But either way, the Hornets ain't gonna win the games either way. So I don't know where this
Yeah, this
faith
talk
in the
come from.
Hornets come from.
Yeah, me I don't know either.
That's exactly
But
what it is, fifth.
but
Actually, look, they've got the league's worst point differential, -10. Opponents is beating them by 10 points on average for the whole season. Like, that's crazy, though. They got 50 wins, yeah, but
Hey,
nah,
I
them
champion
ain't them ain't them ain't going nowhere. Them ain't making the way. I think
but
the
But
one
yeah,
of the more
close
interesting
fight.
stories is the Magic and the 8 seed. I'm pretty sure the Magic started the break in the 6 seed. I know in the 8 seed. Um, I really want the Magic to get some playoff experience because I think that team is pretty good on defense. Hopefully, they get to go on a winning streak um, in the next couple of weeks, so they could kind of bolster their position in the standings. Um, maybe face a team that kind of in the category of them, or the caliber of them, maybe like PSG or something like that. But I think that's going to be tough for them to do. Um, but with 76ers falling, who knows? There may be. I don't see anybody else falling. Yeah, they ain't gonna
Mhm.
face somebody tough, regardless of how you look at it. But I'm interested to see how they finish out the season because I'm a Paulo Banquero fan, so looking forward to see what he does when he gets a chance to be leader in the playoffs for his team.
What's your
Anything
most
else stand out to you guys?
surprising team, Hakeem?
We're it's hard to say. It's a surprising team right now. Uh, Based on what I'm seeing, maybe Orlando Magic and
Yeah,
all the other teams to me, it's kind of mirroring last season.
mhm.
Boston was dominant last season for the most part. They played well. Milwaukee's always up there. Cavaliers, I think Cavaliers were in
Cavs.
third
Yeah,
or fourth last year, so it's not,
yeah,
and it's still 20 more games left to play in the season, so things could easily
Mhm.
change. New York Knicks is the same position, so I think it's just about the same for the most part. Just Atlanta Hawks they've been struggling for a while. They've playing tournaments been helping them a lot. So I mean, I don't think there's any real change from last season.
mhm.
Other than Brooklyn Nets are really far down. I think last time
Yeah,
they finished badly, but because they lost other players. But
yeah.
when they got
But
Mikal Bridges
when
last year,
yeah.
they were on a bit of a
When
run,
KD
and
left,
yeah, they just start tanking
team
straight
is the
away.
same. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much.
but
They're very middling. So we know getting
yeah,
to see the actual result of what they would have been last year if KD wasn't there for the whole season,
yeah.
and that
So
has
it's
been mediocre.
Not
yeah,
necessarily because Dinwiddie left too, and I think when he was there, they were doing a little bit better than they are right now.
I think it's less
I'm
about
not.
them really, and more about they fired the coach as well. So some dysfunction as
Yeah,
well going on behind the
exactly.
scenes.
So
But I just think the team ain't could be that good. There's been health issues. Nick Claxton been out in and out of the lineup. Ben Simmons has been in and out. I've been very inconsistent, I would say
I
as
didn't even
well.
know
Ben
Ben. I
Simmons'
didn't even
career
know Ben
has
was playing. Was Ben still playing? I thought Ben was on the bench the
he
entire
played the last
season.
game. He played the last game. He played the last game against the Timberwolves. They got beat. Pretty good. They couldn't score a lick. Um, so they're just a bad team right now, to be honest. Just a
Differently, I
bad team
think
right now.
Ben Simmons should be thanking Rich Paul. That he was able to get a very good contract. Like before Rich Paul right now, I don't know where Ben Simmons would be right now because he's making too much money just to let him go. They have to keep him at least to try to hopefully get his stock value back up. But Ben Simmons gonna be thanking Rich Paul for sure. But looking at this standings, as Ravon said, Celtics right now beating the brakes off everybody. They
Everybody.
are they are right now dominant.
Mhm.
They're looking
8 game
dominant.
win
They
streak.
are dominant. Yeah, they got 8 games right now on Cleveland. I mean, I would be surprised if they don't finish first. But we know with Boston, this is like deja vu, and they've finished first before. They do well. They're only judged on how well they're doing. Actually, they're judged if
In
they win a
playoffs.
chip. No, they're just judged on if they
Right,
win a
yeah,
chip.
right now at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now, no one cares how dominant they are. They get past the first round, second round. They get to Eastern Conference Finals and win that. Like right now, they're judged on if they could win a chip. If they don't win a chip, they had a bad season. They didn't have a good season. They didn't reach their goal. So I expect this kind of performance right now from the Boston Celtics. They're playing, they're playing at a high level. Or, the balling out. So
Hmm.
they're the outlier for sure. 2-8, tight, 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 tight.
Yeah, it's very tight.
This is making for a last good 25 games, 20 plus
Last
games.
yeah.
It's gonna be tight.
Right,
It really,
right now, we see the playoffs starting now, boy. That's boy.
yep,
The playoffs start right now
yep.
because this seeding can be real important. This seeding
Because
is
right,
going to be very,
agreed.
very
Because right
important.
now, as you said, you got from 2 to 8. There's only 5 games separating the second seed to the eighth seed,
Yeah,
and right now, about 2 games
but
separating the
not to
fourth
mention,
to the eighth.
that's a quick note. The Bucks got one of the toughest schedules in the league. They got the seventh toughest schedule in the league right now. So a team that has been playing so throughout the season really has to find a groove to really get it going because they got some big opponents coming up in the last 20 something games.
Yep, yep. So they're gonna have it out for them for sure. But I feel like it's like I can't even if these standards were to finish this way. I really
Mhm.
and truly can't say there's any team outside of Boston that I say who's gonna clearly win their series. Like sometimes you can say in the playing tournament,
Yeah,
overall mates in playing tournament still getting whitewashed in the first round.
yeah.
Like I
Mhm.
can't say right now definitively like a easy team, easy way for any of them. I know for sure
Yeah.
Boston, whoever plays Boston, hold their hand. Unless it's unless it's Miami
But I
Heat.
mean the Heat, I just gonna say the Boston.
Unless
I
it's
wasn't saying want to see the Heat
unless
at
unless
all.
unless it's Miami Heat, they hold a hand. Cause Miami Heat, someone they know the weak spots for Celtics. But any other team holding pure hand for Celtics, uh, second seed, let's say it had to be Cavaliers. I feel like every team would give the Cavaliers a good run. Maybe I'm not sure about Chicago. I feel like Chicago kind of iffy for me
That's if Chicago get in. They got to play the play in. Right now, the Magic
right
will be
now.
the lot, but right now it'll be Cavs versus the Heat. But if anywhere from the Magic to the Pacers
Well, you
play
can't. Well, you can't
the
really.
Cavaliers,
Okay, it's hard. Oh yeah, the Cavs versus the Orlando or the Miami Heat.
yeah. So like, any of them teams, I I think those teams, well, specifically the Magic match up well for the Cavs. I think the Magic might give the Cavs some problems because they have been, kind of not the greatest on offense, and their strength is with their bigs on the floor. And Orlando can match that because they got a very, very big team and top five in defense on the season as well. So I think that'll be an interesting matchup to see, to be honest.
Most definitely. I'm looking at the other fixtures.
The West
I
though,
just believe, I just believe 76ers in fall into the playing tournament. Like I think they're gonna fall in for sure. If you score back at hands, I feel like they're definitely gonna
yeah.
fall into that playing tournament. Right now, Miami or Atlanta probably get the sixth seed, sixth or fifth seed. So it's gonna drop in, and they might never make it into the playoffs at this rate if Embiid doesn't come. Oof. I don't think Brooklyn Nets or Toronto have a chance. Well, let me not say they don't have a chance. They can still make the playing tournament. They're not too far off. 4 games behind Atlanta. It's still possible, but I just feel like Atlanta has enough to get them home, to get them into that tournament. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting run. I'm curious to see if it had a stand, if the standards had to stay as it is right now. New York versus 76ers still be interesting. Nah,
I don't.
nah, yeah. If Embiid doesn't come back, yeah, that's a whitewash in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more interesting if the Knicks play Pacers, they try to move up.
Yes.
I
Or
think that would be
Cleveland
an
maybe.
interesting. Anyway, I don't think they'll get that high. I don't think New York Knicks will fall to seventh, and I
Yeah.
don't think Cleveland's gonna. You never know, Cleveland might fall, but I don't. If I had to stay as it is, and maybe one shift, Pacers versus Knicks can be a very good lineup.
Yep.
Tyrese
Very much
versus
so.
yeah, Tyrese versus Brunson. That is gonna be a dynamic battle right there in the middle of
Hmm.
in the backcourt. That's gonna be something special.
That'd be a
But
great first round series.
yep, but we'll wait and see.
You
We'll
think
wait
we'll
and
go
see.
seven?
Mhm.
For sure, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that'll be the series to watch actually in the first round for the
Hmm.
East.
Hmm. Well, we can put a pin on it then. Moving on to the West, we got the first couple of teams separated only by two
Zero
games.
games.
Well, no,
But,
no, yeah, because
yeah.
at the time of planning this live,
Hmm.
it was about that. But
Yeah.
and then we got the rest they feel not too far behind
Yeah,
amongst each other as well. So really and truly, this is a fight for the top seed, to be honest. Because I mean, we got enough games that the top teams, if they don't, maintain this momentum, could actually fall as well. So
yeah. The
we
pressure
can
is
really
on
taste the
Minnesota.
West. Yep.
The pressure is on Oklahoma. The pressure is on Nuggets. Like the Timberwolves and the Thunder got the same exact record heading into today. The Nuggets pretty much they got 1.5 games, but they're a win away from having the same amount of wins. The Clippers, same thing. So the top four seeds, as Hans would say, yeah, 2 games separate one to four, 1 and 4, sorry. So tight contest at the top. And as I say,
You
the
think
playoffs
Clippers
have
moving
begun.
up?
I'm a little bit unsure about them. I see Paul George was out a little bit. Not sure what's going on with him. He didn't play the last game. They lost to the Kings. The Kings might be a team that might be on the verge of moving up, but they got some work to do. But in a 2 week span, the Kings could probably, if the Clippers lose a couple more games, they could probably catch them and then
Don't,
be in the
don't
striking
bet on
distance
it.
for the number 1 seed. I ain't trying to
Don't
bet
bet
on
on
it,
it.
but it's possible. It's possible. The Kings have been looking up. Sabonis has been playing well. Uh, the Nuggets, to be honest, for beating on the Warriors after all the hype that the Warriors had, all that energy coming off of just before the All Star break, but they're racking up some wins. Nuggets played them and put them in a place to some extent. It's like they just flip a switch and they're going into to finals mode. Jokic had
Yeah,
36, 16, and 16. Like this man is going
that's
crazy. I ain't
that's
gonna lie.
crazy.
In the past couple of games,
Yeah,
he averaging like about that, like 30 points, almost 15 plus rebounds and 15 plus assists. Like that's
It,
insane.
yes, he must get himself so cruel sometimes to see how he do walk around the All Star game and then come and do this and then come and do this after the All Star break, like
As a player, I'll
humbling,
be cruel if he was to
hum,
come and do that to
hum,
me.
humbling teams, making teams
Mhm.
rethink the whole plan. Like, are we good enough? As he kind of beating right that made it say we got trade players. No, we got Lego players. We can't win it. Let's look for the next year, right? Crazy.
Mine's saying different. Um, but yeah, like and then no, after the four, no, when you drop off from 5 to pretty much 10, we got the West is so stacked. The 10th place team in Golden State Warriors still has a above 500 record. That is absolutely insane.
I
And
just
look at
want to interject here, a quick one.
look,
Looking at
no
this, I
problem.
just say right, it's 1 to 10, right? I just we move forward because looking at these fixtures, you playing tournament and you see so top notch. You playing tournament as it
Yes,
is so
yeah,
top notch. You
for
got Dallas,
sure.
for
Lakers,
sure.
Golden State, and Pelicans. Oh my God! Like I that's must see TV. That is must see
Exactly.
TV. So like I just gotta leave it there. Back to you, Ray. I just had to say that quickly.
Well, yeah, but that's a good point. Like, when we get onto that, we might probably see LeBron and versus Stephanie in the plane. See Zion versus Luca. See Luca versus LeBron or Zion versus
Yeah, I
Steph.
was
Like
just
we got a
gonna
lot of big
say
Either
names at the
either way,
bottom.
LeBron and
way,
Luka might be one I
the,
want to
co-
see.
the combination's crazy. Oh my.
Yeah. But what was tying out to me in these standards is look at this column here where he's showing you like how many wins in the last 10 games. All of these teams got such a good record in the past 10 games. Like 7-3, 8-2, 6-4. None of them have a losing
Who
record in the last 10 games. That
they
is
cooking
absolutely insane.
they cooking the Eastern teams or they cooking teams below.
Warriors went 8-2.
Yeah, they cooking the teams below. Yeah,
Yeah.
they cooking the teams below.
Yep,
And just the
I
Spurs,
don't
they
know.
getting cooked. Yeah, 1-9,
and
2-8.
and the teams on the East.
Yeah, for sure, for
Man,
sure.
let me find out
We
what's the
can't.
record for the East versus West. I got a man that's do like a thing on NBA like for the power rankings on NBA.com, and he usually would say what is the East versus West. Like how much games the East win versus the West. Okay, so the West is 171 games to 133 against the East. So the West smacking the East this year.
Or more. Sure, you can tell.
From watching the All
Yeah,
Star game, you wouldn't even think that.
You would think
You would
that.
have to be
It's true.
following. Yeah, you would definitely have
Hmm.
to be following. But then again, all stars is all stars. It's,
Yeah.
it's not representative of what's happening in
Yeah.
the league itself. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I would actually like to see Dallas and Lakers go head to head in the first round. It'd be
Yeah.
good to
Yeah,
see that matchup between Luka and LeBron for sure.
because they
I
all
think
have
we need to
stars.
take a go ahead. Hans.
I think 'cause they all have technically two stars. Good
Mhm.
depth to the squad. I would say Dallas has more depth to the squad. Uh, young versus the older players. You know, Kyrie, Luka, AD, LeBron. Might throw in D'Lo in there a bit. Like it's hard to tell who would win. And despite all the Lakers' troubles this season, they're only 2 games
Mhm.
behind Dallas. So it's not like there's a big separation. So there must be something that whether they're not playing good defense, whether they're injuries. But in a 7 game series, when both teams can actually take their time and organize, you can't really tell who's going to win. As the truth. So I'm really and truly excited for this. A Lakers
Is it
fan, so
possible?
I got LeBron to come
Yeah.
through. Once they make it in, because they have a very tough schedule. They have a very tough schedule coming up. So for these next 10 games, but once they could keep,
Yeah.
get some
They got
wins
they
and
got the fifth toughest schedule for the rest of
yeah,
the season.
they do compared to last season, where they had
Mhm.
a relatively easy finish into the season that allowed them to get a good rhythm and get
Yep.
straight into the playoffs. Is the opposite this year, so they already
Hmm.
have it against them, and they've not been playing bad basketball. They said right now their record is 7-3, so it's not like they're losing and they're still above 500. It's just the West is stacked. The West is stacked.
Very much so. Who
You
has
think?
the toughest schedule in NBA for the rest of the season as in this West mix? The Phoenix
Mhm.
Suns. So that team has to be on their absolute A game to stay in that number 6 spot because they got to go through some Titans to finish out the season, and they they lost their last game. I think they did, I think they lost their last game, but uh
No, it says W. It says win one. I think they won the last game.
oh oh yeah, sorry. I can't remember. They did what? No, they lost the game. What was it? My mind was Kyrie and
Yeah,
Luka going off on the
the
Suns.
Mavericks. Yeah,
Yeah, like when they got to play the
a
actual
beauty to watch.
teams. Yep, when they got to play the teams, they have been looking kind of shabby. I ain't gonna lie. Bradley B still out. Bradley Beal, I think he got injured again. I don't even know what's up with Bradley Beal. He can't seem to get healthy, and I
Mhm.
just feel like they need to have all three of those guys on the floor to really maximize their potential on the season. And
and
it's
getting and
been
getting chemistry and at least being able to
yeah, and
gel.
getting chemistry, yeah, that too because I feel like they need at least two of those guys on the court at all times, given the fact that they are not a defensive team, and they're going to need to rely on the offensive power to really put them over the top. So they need Bradley Beal back, in my opinion, or they need Kevin Durant to go on a otherworldly run and be insane because Devin Booker has been cooking,
He has he
but
has been he
KD
has
has
been.
been KD has been kind of underwhelming in these past couple of weeks, in my opinion. Just for the eye test, I didn't know the stats, but that's for the eye test.
I want to add to what you said. Right, I don't know if you guys find it funny that at the beginning of the season, when Bradley Beal was traded to the Suns, we were saying this has to be the team to win it, and to see
Yep.
that this team in sixth position, only 34 wins, six behind Minnesota Timberwolves, who was in the playing tournament last season, like and Oklahoma, like
Mm-hmm.
who would have
Who
seen
was
this
also in the
coming?
playing tournament last season.
Exactly. So who would have seen
Mhm.
this coming, right? So to see that how the tide has shifted, the tide has changed.
Hmm.
This is amazing, right? So they need Bradley Beal to come back as soon as possible. Hopefully, stay healthy to try to make a run. Because right now, as I said, the Kings above them, and the Kings even have an All Star.
Hmm.
Look at it that way. Kings even had an All Star, and right now they're above the Suns. So
I, you know what's interesting about the West? Like we talking about this year, but next year the West can be even tougher next year because we got
Grizzlies,
John Morant
Grizz-
coming back and the Grizzlies getting back
yep.
healthy. Then we got Victor Wembanyama definitely getting better. I don't know if the team around him is going to get better, but
I think he's
the
in the same
Houston
position.
Rockets could possibly. I don't think they can be that bad next season.
Not that bad,
Um,
but I don't think they're gonna be. I'd be surprised if they become a playing tournament team.
I mean, on top of that, we got the Rockets too, who started out the season very well, kind of teetered off now, but I feel like they're going to build on the momentum that they, or the success that they found early in the season and try to do better next season as well. So, like, the West is only going to get tougher when all these other guys come back for the Grizzlies, and might expected ascension of Wembayama and some guys on the Rockets as well. So, like, the West is only going to get much much tougher. But
You don't feel the Golden State's gonna fall off because players gotta
um
go. I think the consensus is Clay might be going this season. Draymond might be gone. If Clay goes, I think Draymond's leaving for sure. I don't think there's no doubt about it. If Clay goes, I think Draymond goes. Um,
I don't think Draymond wants to go. I don't think the Warriors want Draymond to go either. Um, Speaking of Draymond, I know we on it. I I getting real sick of this man. To be honest, like, it just this Draymond already has leaves a bad taste in your mouth with the things that he's doing already, and then no,
Yeah.
he coming out the other day had this little scuffle when they played the Hornets, and Grant Williams was pretty much, standing up for one of his guys, and he in the post game comments talking about how Grant Williams is taught too much, and he trying to be a tough guy, and he ain't built like that, and all sort of stuff. And if there's anybody that's taught so much or taught too much, is you, Draymond. It is you. So I don't know, but you trying to speak on somebody for trying to stand up for the team when you's a big proponent for that, and you know what you gives. It feels like you talking about on yourself to me. He should have been talking to himself about what he was talking to Grant Williams about at the end of the day. But I just sick of hearing Draymond, and even after coming off the whole suspension, I think it just feel like he has, I don't know, opened up his, I don't know, that open his appetite for just speaking on people name and stuff like that a little bit more than he normally does, in my opinion. And with the
Mhm.
podcast and everything, it just tired of Draymond, to be honest. Just shut up and play some basketball a little bit, please. Please.
Yeah.
Too much talk. Too much talk. By Draymond. Uh but with the Warriors, I don't think they're gonna break it up. As is, maybe Clay may leave. But Steph has already said he'd like the guys to stay together. Draymond doesn't seem keen on leaving either. Clay is probably the one that may jump ship. Or
So
they might
Clay
not
going
want
to
to bring back.
Bulls
But
you
and
think
Zach
you
Levine
think
going to
Clay,
Warriors?
nah, that kind of word. That's not fair trade. That's not fair. You think Clay would jump ship, or you think Clay will be asked to leave?
I don't think it's about asking to leave. Is they can say we can trade you.
Nah, but I think they give
uh,
Steph the option to keep Clay. So if Clay jumps ship, I assuming he's leaving
Yeah, but that is
voluntarily.
Steph. Steph on
yeah,
that
I just
level.
can say that Steph.
No, they give Steph the option to pull the trigger on Clay or not. If you want Clay to stay, Clay can stay.
I mean, Steph already said he'd like everybody to stay, so
So then
it's up to
it's
them
up
to
to
work
so,
on it.
so it's
But
up to
if it don't
Clay.
make
It's up to.
sense,
But I think they would. I think they would rather. I think they would take the L for another season to keep the team together, or take pay cuts.
hmm,
I think like unless Clay wants to leave because he feels he wants to prove to himself or the NBA
Yeah.
he can still do it somewhere else, or he wants a new challenge. I don't see Clay leaving, not
New
voluntarily.
yeah,
challenge
but
the Hornets.
I think it all depends on how this Clay coming off the bench scenario goes. If Clay gets in your head, well, Steve Kerr used me. He put me on the bench when I've been consistently performing. Stayed putting me on the bench when I've been consistently performing. Then you can't really want me here then, because you know who I am. I got four. I
Yeah,
got
but that's
four.
that's in the past,
You
man.
know what Clay love to do.
Yeah.
Um, I just feel like Clay is that type of guy in terms of his confidence in himself, that he might get that mentality and might want to say, frig this, let me go somewhere else and I say, give somebody else my services, because it feel like they're not being appreciated for what I've done and what I could do. But
Yeah,
at the end of
but
the day, as a coach,
yeah,
you gotta be like, what you could do for me, no.
Yes, but
but
constantly updating your resume.
sometimes like he might be better off the bench, and that's probably why he performing the way he performing. I mean,
If Russell
and if it
Westbrook can
working,
do it right, and Russell was a two-time MVP, and he's coming
hmm
off the bench, I think Clay could do it too. I feel like Clay could
yeah,
do it
like
too.
One thing
if you
MVP.
performing from that
Only one thing,
position, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Soros too.
Triple double season.
The first where he got it twice for the both triple double seasons.
Nah,
Only once.
James Harden won the next one. I
Okay.
think.
Apologies, fans.
Mhm.
but yeah, I think he's probably performing because he's playing off the bench. Keep him there.
I guess,
Keep
and
it
he might be
working.
doing that to say, "Yo, Steve, you see what you're doing?" Like, I don't know,
I
but I
still
think
be
he'd
like,
be the more
yeah,
likely.
I see what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You're moving up. You're perfect where you are. I mean, like it has to be the best decision for the team. It can't be the
Mhm.
best decision all the time for one player's career.
Right.
Or I guess what the appearance of one person's career look like, or what might want it to look like. I mean, if it works best for the team that he's playing off the bench, no, that's the best spot for him to shine. Then
Hmm.
keep it as is.
Gotcha. All right. I guess moving on to other things. You got a certain guy in I could say mainstream sports media pushing for
Yeah,
a man to be
Rico Horn.
MVP.
I feel here their take. You watching Astro
Yeah,
Rose.
he gotta be. He gotta be because when it hurt, and that's funny. It was the same. It was
And a couple
the
days
day
afterwards,
after. Yeah, that he was talking about
They be
it.
peeping. They be
But
peeping. I
most
know it.
definitely.
Stephen A. pushing for Jason Tatum for MVP, and
MVP Dark
I mean
Horse.
he got a point. He has a point. Jason Tatum is on a team where I predicted by the end of the season, the Boston would win 65 games. Brought up a point the other day. There's only in the last 10 seasons, there's only been one MVP. Well, one MVP given to a player that was not on a 65 win team. And that is the same Russell Westbrook back in 2015, 2016, or 2014, 2015, whichever season it was. Uh, that season, the Warriors won 65 plus games. Stephanie went MVP. But obviously, when a man averages a triple double, I mean, for a whole season, then I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough. And I think the Thunder was the sixth seed when Russ average triple double season. But I just maintain I feel like if they get that mark, Jason Tatum probably get it. Arguably, Jokic probably is the best player in the league right now. Arguably, but there's always that voters fatigue. I mean, he won it twice already. He got a Finals MVP, and then there's always the does Jokic deserve a third one? I mean, I think he does because that's just my plain old human mind.
Yeah,
Right?
bro. Just give it to the guy.
But I I just think that he what I realize about Stephen A as well, I feel that he's pushing the American player agenda a lot. I don't know if you guys realize it. But
Mm,
I think the NBA is pushing it. I said that. I don't know if you remember you guys. I told you guys that off the stream. I was saying I felt in the All Star game or the All Star weekend,
mhm.
they were really trying to push the agenda of Tatum a little more. I felt like
Yeah.
LeBron wasn't in the
mm-hmm.
spotlight as much as he normally is,
Mhm,
and they found
mhm.
Tatum
Yeah,
was
you did mention that.
they were
Yeah.
pushing Tatum as a new superstar. He is a superstar, I would say. I think he's in that category for sure. But they're trying to
Mhm.
make him the face because right now the
Yeah.
face of the league after LeBron retires and he's fading in the next year or two.
Mhm.
You know, he will. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
Giannis, Joker. That's really it. I mean, that is right now the biggest
Luca,
names in
maybe.
And Luca.
Luka, all
Mhm.
European players, right?
Yeah.
So Embiid, being an African player, so they know American player you can say is the face of the NBA. Tatum is the next
Right.
best bet. At first, it was looking to be
Right.
Donovan Mitchell because he was a better player a couple years ago. He was getting further in the NBA in the playoff run, but Donovan Mitchell's not going to be the face of the NBA. So Tatum's the next best player, and he happens to be American. It has to be him. Even if you take out Jason Tatum, the next best player who could potentially be also the face, well, potential face, would be SGA, Shea from the Thunder. And
But
he's
no,
Canadian.
shit,
And
shit,
he's,
shit.
and he's, and
Yeah,
he's
he's
Canadian.
Canadian. Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So,
Correct.
so even so, your next potential candidate is still not even American. So the only person you got left back is Tatum. You got to meet Tatum right now, the face. So I feel like they've been pushing him as the agenda, and
Yeah,
he's been playing well, rightfully
Steph.
so.
Steph could be,
But
but he's not
nah, Steph is
playing
too.
at the same
Steph
level
on his way
that
out
he was
too.
I think
before.
he's too old to be in the face.
Right.
To make him the new face, the face has to be prevalent,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
prevalent for
but
the next, at
because he
least
needed to
5 to
be,
10 years. For the
yeah,
next 5 to 10 years,
yeah,
Steph,
longevity
yeah,
a little bit.
yeah, you need that. You need that. And LeBron was the face for like 20 years. So
exactly.
You think that Ja was supposed to be that guy, that Nets face of the
Yeah,
NBA,
for sure,
like
for
like
sure, for
like
sure,
they
for sure. But
wanted him to be that because he's more exciting, I guess.
he fumbled it by in that regard, but he still has an opportunity to do it. I
Mhm.
think we lost Hakeem there, a little bit. He still has the opportunity to do
It's
it.
his week.
This one a chance. This is the time that one was balling at me, balling
That's
at me
true.
last week.
It's his week this week, boy.
I
He's
think
back.
it's just it.
Yeah, that means it's you next week, Hans.
Yeah, it gotta
Nah,
be.
fam,
I was
not
I
nearly.
was, I was just looking at my wife. Felt
Not
like
nearly.
the guy stick, and then I realized everybody went there was like, "Oh, this is my computer for sure." I was like, "Please, Lord, please."
Uh,
I ready to miss.
right. So we were just talking about John Morant being, um,
Nah,
being in the position
nah,
to take that
nah,
mantle.
nope, nope,
He
nope,
still
nope,
has
nope,
a chance. He
nope,
still has a chance to
nope.
redeem himself from it. He is still very young. He's like what 23?
Yep, super young.
He has the more dynamic personality to be the face. I agree, but what
He
he's
can be
been through
on
the last
all the
year,
2K covers.
what he's been through the last year, I don't know if they're gonna put. He's too volatile. They can't predict his behavior. I just feel like.
Give him a couple of years.
But you give him a couple years and Tatum right there marinating. You put Tatum in one time.
Well,
You push
well,
Tatum.
well. Yes, Tatum would be there, but then
There's only
who
one
knows
face.
how long
Well,
But
Tatum
is
would be.
I don't think that
Yeah,
was
but
just gonna say it. There's going to be multiple faces of the NBA at
but
the
it
end
has
of
to
the
be a
day
main.
because
But
right.
it has to be a main face. There's normally a main face. Like Jordan was the main face. Kobe was the main face. LeBron was the main face. Like there's always that main guy who is the
but
Mhm.
main face in
I
NBA.
think there are people that exist on the same timelines that can share that mantle in some
Like who?
instances.
Like
Right.
who? No, there's always one main guy. Like
Wait,
it was Jordan.
but Kobe existed when
When
LeBron existed.
Right.
it was Magic and Bird. Those two, yeah. Magic was kind of the bigger personality, but Magic and
All
Bird.
right.
Then you had
Mm-hmm.
MJ by
But that was
himself.
based on a rivalry, though.
Yeah, but
That's
they
the
were like
that's the
at that
reason
time they
Yeah,
were
why.
but
at,
I
at
mean
that
there
time
were
they were
still two faces. That's more than one face of the
yeah
league right there.
that outside of that
Well,
yeah, but Magic had more of a
yeah,
two of them for sure. Cause
it
they was
still
trying
has
to
to have some type
that
of
was their way of being
relevance.
able to market NBA. Then it was uh MJ by himself. Then Kobe came in. Then LeBron came in, and then it really became LeBron's face. I would say Kobe was still a face, but LeBron was the man. And don't forget, Kobe had about 5 years on LeBron, and LeBron ended up becoming the face as he came in the league. So I would
Mhm.
still think it took another 2 3 years. So Kobe had it for about 7 years, and normally the face is between 5 and 10 years. I would say LeBron has had it an exceptionally long time,
Yes.
but no, it's LeBron's time. After LeBron fading, you need somebody else to come in there and be the main man. If not the main man too, but normally it's just one person. And I see it being Tatum. Jamara will be the better candidate, barring his issues last season. I don't know how to make this spin off, but imagine making him the face and then he relapses. Hopefully he doesn't. But they can't. I don't think NBA wants to take that risk. Zion would have been a perfect candidate if Zion was to stay healthy and was dominating for the last 5 seasons as he was expected to. I think
Mhm.
Zion would have been that guy. But Zion can never be the face. No, that's just me.
I don't think
I
that
don't-
is true. You can't say never.
Hakim
You
just
can't say never.
writing
That
off
seems so
everybody.
definite. Like, come on,
Hakim
man.
like no,
You can't
not
remember
him.
that these
No.
guys is like still 23,
Do you think he
under
could be the main?
25.
I'm not saying he can be a face, but do you think he could be the main guy, the main face of the NBA? The main with all his issues. He got more issues
I
than
think he has.
John Morant.
I think that Zion still has time left to prove himself. You can't remember these men under 25 years old. They still got a lot of time in the league after
It
stay
is
out of
one thing.
trouble
It's one thing.
uh,
Image is important. Image is most important thing for the NBA. Image above everything. The men's image has been
Very true.
tarnished. Their images have been tarnished. There's still
A
but
models,
good
not beyond
comeback
repair.
story could be
But not
too.
beyond repair though.
not beyond repair,
Right.
but I think
And a
it's
good
beyond.
comeback story,
I think it's
Ja
beyond.
Morant.
I think it's beyond being the main face in the NBA. When you got a man who's considered clean and a model citizen, model
Yeah,
NBA
they men
citizen.
ever they men
You
ever
can't.
get out right.
Yeah,
Especially
man.
so
Like, come on, like we look
they
at
men get out right.
Steph, Jason Tatum, like,
Staff on my
nah,
mind. LeBron on my
yeah,
mind.
yeah. And then these
Hmm.
men, nothing, no
It's standing
scandal,
citizen.
no scandal known
But
to
but
man.
but what about the comeback story though? What about the
You can
you
have a
could go
comeback
through
story, but
adversity?
not to be the
No, no,
main
no.
face, not to be the main face.
Why not? Why not? To I'm sure young
Allen Iverson
people,
was a better
you
player than
know,
any of these
you
players
could
right
go
now,
through
right? Allen,
adversity,
uh,
people
Allen
could write you
Iverson,
off, and you could come back and be,
hands,
you know,
hands,
a good upstanding citizen like you
hands.
trying to push.
Allen Iverson was a
It
better
could
player than these
it could
players
be a
right now.
sweet comeback
Was
story.
He was better than Zion and better than John Morant. Allen Iverson was never the face of the NBA. He was a face, but not the face of the NBA.
Yeah, because at that time
You
he
make a
was
comeback, but
deemed
you can't become you.
as a
You can't.
rebel though. That's way.
What's the difference between him and John Morant at the current moment?
No, no, no. He was deemed as, but he was not necessarily on the level of
But
John
John
Morant
Morant was
or
proven.
what John Morant went through.
But so John Morant might be worse. Is one may
Well,
say.
agreed,
and
but
and,
you
and
saying
Allen
Allen
Iverson
Iverson right now?
was still not the face of the NBA. So imagine he was a better position than Ja Morant, and he still wasn't the face of the NBA. What makes you believe Ja Morant and become the face, the main guy? He will be one of the faces. Uh, he will be one of them.
I mean, he was still in between that era with Jordan and Kobe overlap anyway. So I mean, if those two were the main guys at that time, then it still
He
wasn't a roof
did.
for he
Allen
anyway.
Iverson came in before. Did he not come in before Kobe? Or he came in
Yeah,
after Kobe?
but
I think he came in before Kobe.
yeah, yeah, mm, yeah, he did. He did.
Uh, Like he was transitioning to that new period. He wasn't up to speed.
I saw what you did there.
but that's my take on it. That's my take on it. Jason Tatum
oh,
is the he's the next face of the NBA. Unless Bronny
um,
comes in,
we got.
unless Bronny comes in and becomes the next man.
Oh, don't
Come
tell me
on,
that.
bro.
Come
Get
on,
out.
bro. Come
Get
on,
out.
get out of here, B. But
Get out. Get
Uh,
Barney
out.
barely Barney. I don't even know what team can pick Barney. Matter of fact, Barney needs to stay in college for a
Hornets.
little longer at this point because I don't even know.
Hornets.
He ain't ready. He ain't ready. He think he like
well, you could
averaging
say,
40 points on his season.
you could say the
Come on,
Pistons.
man.
same about Jamara
Pistons
and
can put them in.
Donovan Mitchell were averaging high numbers in college. Even Booker was averaging high numbers.
John Morant even went to a college that was
He
what?
went to division. He went to a division. It was a junior college or a division. It had to be Division
John
One, or
Morant
was
was
it?
totally unknown. I didn't even know what college he went to. That's how bad it was. He was totally unknown.
Yeah, when he
He
only had one
he
offer.
he kind of raised the standings late in the draft. So I can't remember which college he went to. That's how bad it is right now. Like,
Yeah,
he
he only
wasn't
had,
on
it
anybody
was
radar coming up
yeah,
until
exactly.
late. So I won't put John Morant in that conversation. Bronny James already got media attention before he even get to college. So
Before he get a
he's
preschool, he got
nowhere near the
attention.
conversation at all. Be like, come on. I don't even think he that good yet. So give him some time. We got a message in chat from Mark saying Draymond is the face of the NBA. Draymond would never. Draymond would never. Draymond would never take that mantle with his
Uh,
bestie, his best friend, the
Mark
love of
has
his
good
life. LeBron is there.
Mark has good humor, boy. Yeah,
He would never
well,
go
Draymond
there. He would never
Draymond
go
to be
against LeBron.
faced.
Mark.
The alternate
well, the
NBA.
question is, what actually is the face? Is it who the NBA put on the cover, or is it who the people know about most? Like who represents the NBA
It's who has the I
subconsciously?
think it's who has the loudest voice in the NBA world, who has the most push, uh, who obviously has to be a superstar in your rate, who just attracts the most media attention. I think it's a combination of things, but who is most
Hey,
marketable any day? You have to be the
well,
one of the most marketable players.
Yeah,
well,
I think that's where
Draymond
Jason
might
Tatum
not
kind
be
of
a
fall. I
bad
don't
fit.
feel like Jason Tatum is super marketable, but
I think he
he
is.
he wants to be the
He's not.
face of the
He's not.
NBA.
He's not in the biggest. He's in a historic franchise. He's not in the biggest market. But he's in a
The
historic franchise
Celtics,
nonetheless. Yes,
the
this is
Boston
a
Celtics,
historic
dog.
franchise.
The Boston Celtics is a historic franchise and one of the biggest markets. Be like,
Not one of the big. I mean, in terms of city, they're not in New York, they're not in New York, L.A. Like they're not in like that kind of big market state. Like they don't have
Hmm.
the money like that, but they
they're in
have a historic
Massachusetts.
franchise.
I would not say that the Boston is not a
Like,
big franchise.
like, imagine if they
The
were
state is
Texas,
not
like Texas loaded
all right.
of Miami Heat loaded big money markets. Like
I don't see
Boston.
where you think that because it's Boston. Yes, Boston. The word Boston is not flashy, or I think that doesn't mean that it's a big market. That's not a big market.
In the
I don't
NBA
Uh,
think
world, it is though.
this.
yes. So I don't know what you're saying there,
But
but
look,
It was.
nonetheless,
Mhm.
we touched on SGA earlier.
yeah.
Um, given that OKC in the second um, seed of the standings right now, he's been going off though. He's been going off. He's been scoring very high um, throughout the season. Is he is he in that MVP conversation? Would you say?
It's not his time
If
yet.
that's not a question,
It is.
I don't
It's
think that's
just.
a question.
It's not. It's a pecking order. It's not his time yet. He'll get
I don't
there.
think I disagree. I disagree
So it
totally.
has to be something about time. Like
It's not his
I don't
time
know
yet.
what time get involved.
He'll be
it,
there.
it's about
Come on, dog.
performance. It's
He,
about
he'll,
Exactly.
performance in the
he'll
Your man
be
same
got
there
season.
40,
next year.
It's
30
not
point games on the season. There's only been 57 games that played. Man got 40, 30 point games. Hear that. 40, 30
he
point
been
games on the
he
season.
been going off. He been going off, but
He going off, leading the league in steals.
that's just shy of 90%.
it's not his time
If
yet.
they
It's
get the
not.
one seed, if they get the one seed, I'm certain that his name will be at the top of that list.
Well,
Let's
He
see
is
if
a
he's
Stephen A pushes
he'll be in
SGA as well.
discussion, but I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he'll get it. He could be in discussion, but he's not gonna get it. Five candidates right now: Joker, SGA, Tatum,
Like you
and
just put
and
SGA above Tatum.
because you got five, but he's not gonna be. He's not gonna get. He's not gonna win it. No, this is not my order. They just names I'm calling that right now.
Okay, fair enough.
So SGA, Joker, Tatum, Embiid was in it, but I think Embiid is no longer in it.
NBA can be in it.
Is another player I'm missing.
Giannis?
Giannis,
Giannis
Luka.
could be in there too. Yeah, Luca.
I
Yeah, I
say
mean
Giannis
Giannis
could
could
be
be
in
in there. What you
there.
mean, dog? Giannis ain't there, big man. Your man got Giannis on like I
Hakeem
don't
or
know.
Elder.
Udonis Haslam or saying be like
uh, so
He
those
was
are the
like,
five players I
he
think are
could
in
be
it.
in there.
yeah, he was like, I'm missing someone. Yeah, he could be.
Right now, I said is
You must
Joker,
still
Tatum.
thinking about other people.
Nana, I think those favorite right now. If Embiid was still in it, I would have probably taken out. Who would have taken out? That would have been tough.
I'm
I
here
would
though.
have taken who?
I mean, to be
Is
honest,
it here?
Giannis should still be in people mode because the way how that team was playing for the whole season,
Yeah. He
he
pretty
has
much
to
is the
be one
reason
of
that
the
they got
front
our
runners.
record. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So people looking at other candidates and what's not, which is fine because of performing, but he's still got to be in that question. So, Raymond, your thoughts on SGA being possibly the MVP for this season?
I think that he should win it if they get the number one seed. Um, pretty much carry a team with relatively high expectations
Hmm.
and just blowing the expectations of the water. Nobody thought that this team would have been this good this season. Nobody thought,
True.
well, I don't know if anybody thought that he would have been this good this season and it translate to winning like this. Um,
Hmm.
I think it's a phenomenal story in my eyes. And I said from the start of the season, given the 65 game rules, I felt like the award is going to go to one of the younger players that has a great performance. And SG is the top of my list for that one. But
Sounds
Jokic
like
still
the
has
end of
it.
discussion. Sounds like the end of the discussion to me. It's
Yeah.
possible.
Uh,
So
I
you
wouldn't
got
say
hands.
he I agree with Hakeem. He might not get it, but you did also put a condition on him achieving the MVP anyway. So yes, it would be fair that if they get top seed, he should be considered for the season MVP. Um, more than Tatum, in my opinion. So me, I got Giannis, buddy. I got Giannis for MVP just because Bucks have been
What Giannis
okay.
MVP? Giannis,
Yeah,
Giannis.
yeah. Just because Bucks have been okay for the entire season, they've struggled a lot, and Giannis is hard to put down some games in order to keep that team in people's mouths. So I would say Giannis is my pick for MVP. I don't
yeah,
hope he
just
gets it, but yeah, go ahead.
no, I would just going to say I agree with what you're saying. He should be in the conversation, and I don't think he will get overlooked because from the last couple of leaderboards, I think he's been on the ladder. So um,
Hmm.
the people that know with the talking about got here and there.
For sure. Speaking of
Two quick
SJ,
things. No, two
yeah,
quick things. Luka and Kyrie, as we mentioned earlier, put a shellacking on the Suns. Those guys were going off. Kyrie was looking spectacular. I'm interested to see how the Mavs clean these standings because they're looking positive heading into these next 20 something games to close out the season. They could be any potentially a team that maybe takes out somebody for a top seed. Maybe the Clippers fall off or somebody like that. But we'll see. We talked about it a little bit early in the standings. And then when we still doing some super impressive stuff, uh, one of the two
yeah.
players that had a stat line of 27 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Well, 10. What do they call it? A 5-by-5 game. More than 5 points,
Five.
more than 5 rebounds, five more than 5 assists, 5 or more steals, and 5 or more blocks.
So
Like
you make
that's a
up, you
crazy stat line.
you may making it stats no.
Nah,
Or
I think that's a crazy stat line when you think about it. You see how much areas of the game that he was able to
Yeah,
impact
that he's
statistically. Looking at that, like that's not
five
something that people
points,
do every day.
5 rebounds.
5 or more points, 5 or more.
he basically
Uh,
all over. He basically
yeah,
playing 5 positions.
yeah.
I think that's the significance of that stat to be hands on in defense and hands on in attacking as well.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, but speak just want to ask one question on the Kyrie Luka thing. You think they found the recipe? I know it's taken them a while to actually gel. It didn't hit off the first time they were together and were playing together. Everybody had things to say about that um duo. You think they found a recipe? Just a
I
quick
feel
quick.
I feel like they found the recipe offensively to get buckets, but at the end of the day, yes, they're above 500 in their winning percentage, but they're still in. I think the position is right now they
I think it was
are, was it
7 or 6. Let me tell
eighth?
you.
They're eighth. Well, what I'm looking at right now,
If
they're eighth.
if yeah, yeah.
They're eighth. They're in the tournament. So I mean, it's about results for them, right? So
Hmm.
something is still not working with the team, whether it's their defense, whether it's whether the balls where they're not move, whether they're playing isolated basketball a little too much rather than rotating the rock and getting all the other players involved. Because at the end of the day, you need the other players involved to really make a deep run as well. The stars have to be stars, but it's those other players that have to step up. So there's something that's not. I've not been able to watch as many games for the Mavs, but there's something clearly just from the statistics alone. There's something that's clearly missing that allow them to thrive, uh, to really thrive
Yeah,
because they're still not in a winning. They're, st- they're still not in a really good seeding right now at the moment. Although there's
yeah,
obviously still above 500, so they're
yeah.
still they still
I
need.
think you could take. I think you could take that with a grain of salt because we only 2 games in since the All Star break. Um, 2 games in post All Star break. So, um,
2 games in, but 57 games in the season. I
yeah,
mean,
but they had one of the best trade deadlines. I can say it's been about since the All Star break. Let's say like between 5 and 7 games since then. I think they have been on an upward trajectory within that time frame. They've gone 7-3 in the last 10. So I think that's science. I can't agree with you that
Everybody,
there's something wrong. I
everybody going basically 7-3 in the West, seven and
I
three,
could
eight and
say
two.
you
I
you
mean,
still
like
got the same level of
if
defense
they
to go
if
7-3.
if they
Correct.
got they're destroying the teams below, they're beating the East and they're destroying the team. If all the teams winning the same way, they must still stand. If right now, right now
Unless
the team
I
Hakimi's point is that they're killing it on the offensive end, and that's
they
where
right
are
now, but
you
I was
are
just
they
gonna say
are,
right.
but
that's
If
Brendan,
you're going off that point,
the team as a whole is not doing good enough because Kyrie and Luka are killing it. As I said, rightfully so. But it's still they have to be more. The the duo is
even
working,
the
but
supporting cast too. I would say
exactly they need more because the duo at the end of the day, yes, they're playing well together. The duo is playing well, getting points. But if the team is not getting a lot of wins or not getting a high seed, that's the bottom line for them. That's the bottom line because when Jalen Brunson was there, they're still getting pretty high points. Not the same 70, maybe 50, maybe 50, 60 between them, but it's about seeding. So it have to be more. There's something still not right with the team right now. But as everyone
I,
said, they made some trades, so we gotta wait and still see how
yeah,
they play these next 20 games, 20 plus
I
games.
think yeah, I just think you need to give Dallas some time. I can say that defensively is where they need the most improvement. Um, they had a good test for that and they failed. In their last game, they played the Pacers. The Pacers, the best offense, cut them. So we could see the deficiency there on the defensive end. But I just think they need a little
Pacers
bit more
offense
time.
is crazy though.
Yeah, they just need a little bit more time. I think they're going to make some moves uh in the West standings as the season comes to end.
Agreed. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
We shall
Predictions,
see.
fellas.
Pelicans are
Predictions for
Pacers.
this week.
Pacers, Pacers. This is the one. This is the East and be
Pacers,
licking it. The
Pacers for
East can be
sure.
the East getting win for sure. So we can see the statistic favor the East in this game at least.
Man, they got a well way to catch up, man. I think
They want game
there's
closer to it after this game though.
them. Let me tell you how many games ahead. The
Probably
West
about 30,
is
30 plus
38
games.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
30 plus
38
games.
games ahead in terms of wins.
After that game, it'll be 37 because I got the East to win, Pacers to win.
Uh, I go with the I go with the Pelicans on this one. Um, I taken a fly on this one, no pun intended. The Pelicans have been
Yeah.
pretty.
Saw what you did there.
Uh,
The Pelicans have been pretty up and down, but I can say they've been pretty good for the most part. 17-12 away record. I think they could build on that against the Pacers. Um, they kind of got a similar style offensively, just with the exception that they got Zion on the team. So um, that should be a good one. I go with Pelicans.
Going with the Pacers on this one, fellas.
all right.
No
Lakers
explanation.
at Clippers.
I just want Pacers. Oh, Clippers, easy.
The Lakers have
That's
been
it. Easy.
Lakers 7-3 right now. They're looking
Mm,
pretty steady. Yeah, they still have their work. Clippers is a pretty strong point. I'm not gonna lie, but I think Lakers and
I go Lakers on this one too. Lakers have been my most disappointing pick for the season, but I'll stick with it. For this specific one, every time I pick
you
them
trying
is
to
a
prove a
no.
point?
Nah, but and this one, I got a reason for this one. I think that Clippers have had some issues with the bigger teams. Every time they played them, they got dismantled by the Cavaliers. They got beat by the Wolves, and the Lakers beat them already for the season. So I think the Lakers have a little edge on them in terms of size. Once LeBron plays, I mean, I don't got that caveat for the prediction, but once
That
LeBron plays,
yeah,
I put my money on the Lakers.
fair enough. We got Kings at Wolves.
You know,
I
you're
going
going
with
with
the
Wolves all day.
holders. I
Wolves.
going with the holders.
I would
Oh,
say
everybody going with the
Sacramento.
holders. Must be a full moon.
Sacramento is one of the teams that scare me as a Wolves fan. Not gonna lie, but I ready on my team. Radar day.
Right or die.
So yeah, that's a wrap for the predictions for the week. We're changing gears. in it's an F1.
Changing gears, man.
Yang yang.
Rep
Uh,
engines. We finally
so as,
here.
yeah,
We
boy. As
finally
Hans would
here.
have mentioned,
Preseason testing. Go ahead, Red
yep.
Bull. Sorry. I just got a little bit excited there, you know.
Nah, you can get right into it. As Hans would have mentioned, F1 season starting about this week on the 28th. That's Friday in Bahrain. So we had some preseason testing last week. We just want to go through kind of our thoughts on what happened from preseason testing, what it could possibly mean for the season, and just give some predictions on the season overall, who the title favorites, etc., etc. So we can start off with preseason testing, which was kind of interesting. As I mentioned and alluded to at the start of the stream, it looked as though Red Bull has yet again, setting itself ahead of the pack. Uh, Max finished the day like a whole second and some ahead of everybody else. Um, Ferrari, I think, ended up with the best time. I don't know you correct me, Hans.
I think
Um,
so, but that was on some soft tires, so
yeah, we could take that
that's
with a grain of salt as well.
yeah.
Much is most preseason stuff, but
Right.
um, I ain't gonna lie to you. Looking at how the things have started, I feel like we looking to like a repeat from last year, but with the improvement in the middle of the pack. And, Hans, you could tell me your
Mhm.
thoughts on what you think from preseason and what it could mean for this season.
Like when you watch preseason, you will hear a lot of the announcers say that you can't really tell a lot. You will even hear the team principals and all the teams say you can't really tell because you don't know what other people are running. You don't know
Mhm.
what the run plan is. You don't know what the engine mode is. You don't know what the fuel loads are. All these things, yes, they do play in the time, but if you look closely, you'll realize that every team has a race run, so a race simulation run. They might most likely have a qualifying run to some extent to see what their um, one lap pace might be like. They could extrapolate it from, I guess, messing with the fuel load so that other teams don't find out what they're really doing. Um, and each team got two drivers that you could compare, and each driver would do similar tests to the other driver, right? So one of the big things that I think, I could be wrong, but one of the big things that I think I could take from preseason testing is between the two Red Bull drivers, Sergio Perez and Max.
Mhm.
Seeing that Max was looking more comfortable and confident in the car, was able to put on that blind overlap first test day, like you mentioned. I think seeing how far Perez was away from Max tells me that even though Red Bull took a different approach to their design, Max is still the driver to beat for the season. Perez still got a lot of catching up to do.
So we gonna be hearing the Dutch anthem a lot more this season.
For sure. Like right now, if you don't know the Dutch anthem, when it
I
come
gotta start
on
learning. I gotta start learning it.
from last season, bro, that was the most played anthem.
But
And
things like,
if
uh,
yeah, go ahead.
no, let me finish.
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing is you got the Austrian anthem that's played first, and then you got the Dutch anthem. To be honest, I get so annoyed with the Dutch anthem that I used to click off right after the race. I used to listen to the interviews and then be like, all right, yeah, I already know this song. I don't need to be here for this song. And the celebration.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, boy. I
But
think we in it for another season of that, boy. Sad to see.
Yeah, I think Max is the driver to beat, but I don't think Red Bull is the driver to beat. People's, I think
Mm.
Ferrari's the sorry, I don't think Red Bull's the team to
Yeah.
beat. I think
Yeah.
Ferrari's the team to beat.
Mm.
But Max is the driver to beat. Perez in a tough situation, being like we see it. He's away from Max right now. He's not as comfortable as Max with the car, but let me say for the whole F1 fan base, it's only preseason testing. We don't know yet because Sergio Perez could be running
it's,
other like
so so
settings
here
and
Other
stuff.
specs. Mhm.
so hearing you right hands right, you feel like
Mhm.
it's only Sergio Perez on the chopping block. he or Danny Ricardo? Like, what happened? I feel like one of these guys in chop a block now for Red Bull. Talk to me.
Well, Rebel got drivers, like allocated drivers. Daniel Ricardo came up in their junior program through Toro Rosso back then. Um, and he's driven for Red Bull. He's been Matt's teammate before, but they had this separation at some point, and Daniel has moved on, and now he's on his way back to his home base, basically. And you got Sergio Perez, who started off the season top notch, had high hopes for fans. I was one of them people that was like, yes, finally somebody bringing the pressure to Max. We can get an
Hmm.
exciting season. Start off good, and then he never caught back for him after he dropped off, after he lost
Hmm.
some momentum. Then you got Yuki Tsunoda, who is a Honda driver, and he's had his time in AlphaTauri, which is now RB. I carb something, whatever you want to call the
Visa
team.
card, Mastercard, credit card. Come
Something,
on, man. It's so terrible. They're just confusing
yeah.
me.
But yes,
That
this
team.
is their new team, and
No, let me
he's
call it.
going,
Let me call it the Rebel B team. Let me call it. Let me call it that because that's pretty much what it is. Rebel B
yeah,
team.
for sure. But yeah, to get back to Hakeem's point, Yuki Tsunoda has been paying his dues. He's a Honda driver, so I don't see why he wouldn't move up to the Red Bull seat. But Red Bull and Honda is, I I don't know if they're two totally separate entities, because Red Bull did buy that portion of Honda to make their power units anyway. So we'll
Hmm.
see where Yuki lies. I haven't been hearing any talks about him actually being Max Verstappen's teammate, which is interesting. But yeah, there's Yuki Tsunoda, and then there's Liam Lawson, who's been performing out of his mind when he drove for AlphaTauri
Yeah.
last
Hmm.
season with very short notice. He's been on
Hmm.
par with Yuki. So I think he might have also a chance to be in that Red Bull seat come the end of 2024. So Sergio Perez is definitely on the chopping block. Daniel Ricciardo is definitely on the chopping block, because if he doesn't perform this season, he can't make his way to Red Bull. And Liam Lawson, because Helmut Marko, who's basically Red Bull's driving coordinator, I will say, basically told Liam Lawson, some say, that he's going to have a seat in 2025. So if that's the case, we're looking at Sergio Perez and Daniel Ricciardo for the race, and Yuki Tsunoda might have his seat still.
Hmm.
I got a challenge with this. I just have a strong feeling that Red Bull are going to go the veteran route and possibly go for someone like Alonso or somebody to really
Not
maximize.
nearly.
I feel like they can do that. I feel like they can. So what? Who would be other veteran driver that you think that they would consider again? I just think that they might go that route.
I don't think that they're going to go that route. Red Bull has always been aggressive in their approach. Um, I don't think they've had really any veteran drivers per se, like to join the team in recent times up until Sergio Perez. Um, and I think Perez just got that seat from his previous year's performance, and it just
Mhm.
didn't work out as well as a lot of people thought. I think they've always gone for young talent, and that young
Okay.
talent develops into their seasoned drivers. So, like if you look at Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, for example, Daniel Ricciardo was there first, and then they had a young talent in Danny Kvyat, and then Max obviously showed that he could drive that Red Bull car, and eventually kicked off Danny Kvyat off of the seat, and he was with Ricardo. And then because Ricardo, I think, was that season guy that left, I think they just replaced him with Sergio Perez at that point.
Hmm. I see
So
what you're
so
saying.
so,
At
so
the
that's
same
probably
time,
why that happened.
hmm. At the same time, do you think the success that they're having on like alter their typical approach to something a little bit more conservative? Uh,
You mean
you know,
just I guess
to stay
have
dominant.
the yeah.
To
Well,
stay dominant. I mean,
if
you
if
could be
coming from that
dominant with a
angle,
rookie, but yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, if you're coming from that angle, it would be conservative in terms of winning more constructors championships.
Mm.
But to be honest, I think with the musical chairs that are about to happen in the whole F1 camp right now,
Yeah.
I don't think they should go conservative. But that's
Mm.
just my opinion. I mean, they
So
might
well, who knows?
because they're looking to get Daniel Ricciardo
Mhm.
back in that seat if Perez
Mhm.
don't perform. So hey,
But
I don't know.
I guess as you say, they got a
I
lot of
think Liam
talent
Lawson
coming
should
on the
get this.
board. Mm.
Mhm,
But I just think you got a lot of veteran talent coming on the board in 2024. You got signs out there too. With Lewis taking his seat. I just feel like they might consider someone that would um give Max a challenge, and two, not be. I mean they can't predict how if they're going to be underwhelming or not, but I feel
mhm.
like that they might consider a better driver than than Perez. Like, would you consider Sainz a better driver than Perez? I don't know.
Yes, and I have, and I think that would be a good fit considering also that Sainz was a Toro Rosso driver. So
Mm.
he also came up in the Red Bull
Got
Junior
some history.
program,
Yeah.
and I think that would be a good. To be honest, I want to see it. Um,
That's what I'm saying. I feel
I
like they
am
just
not
go
so
for the
big on the
veteran.
Daniel
Yeah.
Ricardo, moving
Yeah.
back. Like
I ain't
I
big
have
on that
nothing
now.
against him or anything like that. I just think like he's been like at different teams so often. Yes, he's one
Yeah.
at each team, except for AlphaTauri right now, or at RB team, whatever you want to call it. But I don't see the hype in Daniel Ricciardo going back to Red Bull, to be honest.
Mhm.
Other
Yeah.
fans might see because they're on that train, but I want to see new talent. I want to see young guys. I want to see Liam Lawson come in there. I want to see how Yuki might match up against Max, and maybe that Sainz might be able to match Max and really push him to the next level if there's a next level for Max.
Yeah. With the team that I think would take the approach that you're talking that Red Bull would take, I think Mercedes may switch it, no, and
Hmm.
go the young person approach, and go from there because we know got to figure out who can fill the number two spot for Mercedes coming in 2025. So, I know you've been talking about Mick Schumacher. Not familiar with his game a lot, um, but I don't know. What do you think that Mick? What do you think that Mick Schumacher is he running for the seat?
I don't think he's any running at all. He
Mm.
hasn't been mentioned in in any of the conversation when it comes to that seat for Mercedes. It seems like he's just gonna be a test driver for them, just like Zane Maloney is a test driver for Stake right now, who's supposed to be Audi in 2026.
Mm.
Um, and that's quite interesting because yes, he's had a horrible time at Haas when he was teammates with Nikita Mazepin, but he also has some good showings in his final season. Like he was in points, he was driving really well. So um, I don't know why he's not in the conversation, but this might be the reason. There's a young driver by the name of Kimi Antonelli who basically skipped F3, moved from F4, and he's going to be in F2 this season, going up against Zane.
That's unheard of, or that's
That
an
is
issue.
quite unheard of because the guy is impressive. I mean, Max was one of those guys who skipped. Can't remember which one. Can't remember which one Max or did he? I don't know. But Max moved up pretty quick. Max was only 17, I
Yeah.
think, when he joined Red Bull, so he was pretty young. And then they obviously put a age cap on that. But Kimi Antonelli is the vibe right now. Is like a a young Lewis coming into the fold again, like history repeating itself. You got an amazing talent coming through, but he has to perform first. Like he has to be able to prove that he's the
Mhm.
next talent. And the only way he can do that is by winning the F2 championship or fighting for it really really closely.
Mhm.
So time will tell. I mean, at like all raves, he's that guy. everybody, like most people, want to see him coming because he's young. He might be another feel good story like Max's was. So that's going to be interesting. But I'm just surprised that Mick, like I've all throughout the entire testing, I haven't heard Mick Schumacher's name mentioned at all in any of this Mercedes discussion. So he might be sitting out another couple of years. Who knows?
Not a
But then
couple.
again,
That's
then
tough. That's
again,
tough.
Audie's coming. No. Audi is coming in or supposed to be coming in. So, and he's a German driver. So, there might be,
Well, true. The
little,
connection there, some
like
sway,
incentives for
some
that.
fatherly sway.
Well, no, not fatherly Swiss, just,
Mhm,
home country type of thing. Because
mhm.
Alpine is an all French driver lineup, and Alpine's a
Well,
French
true.
team. So that's kind of where that is at right now. So
Mhm.
very interesting to see what's going to happen in Mercedes camp for sure.
Yeah, I say they go young. They might take a risk on the same guy you talking about coming up in the ranks,
Hmm.
or they might go with I don't know the F2 champion from last season, Porsche. Um,
Theo Porsche, yeah,
yeah, they might go with
he's
him.
really good
They
as
got this
well.
guy. You got this guy that I like from F2, Ollie Bierman. I think
Yeah.
he's an interesting one. I
Hmm.
would take a flight on him if it was Mercedes, but um,
Yeah. But you see, Mercedes got their eye on Kimi Antonelli too.
yeah, right,
So,
right. I
because
see any
because
Mercedes
they missed
attire
Matt.
already.
Yeah, because Max was for between Mercedes and Red Bull, and they lost.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, they didn't pull the trigger soon enough. So I don't know if they want to make the same mistake or think that they're going to make that same mistake.
Mhm.
I don't know, but hey, we'll see. I just want to see young talent in the lineup.
Yeah, I agree. See
When the
some new
new
faces, man.
regulations roll around.
Mhm. All right. I think that is a wrap for F1. Any more things you want to highlight quickly before we head out?
Um, I would I would ask the question, and this is a question for the internet. Basically,
Mhm.
is George Russell Mercedes championship driver? Do they think that George is the driver to win a championship, and that the person they're going to choose is going to be their number two driver? Do they have that much faith in George Russell? That's my only question to the internet. Do they see George as that guy? As as is George taking Lewis Hamilton's spot, or is the person coming in supposed to take Lewis Hamilton's spot? That's the question I want to know.
I guess for me, quite off the top, I just think it's a prove it year for George. He
Hmm.
really gotta step up his game to really say, all right, yo, like Mercedes in good hands, guys. I got this. Um,
Hmm.
Even though I think he would have that number one spot. I wouldn't say that Lewis Hamilton spot, but that number one spot on Mercedes, whoever comes. Um,
Right.
I say I'm predicting that they go the young driver route in this one.
Hmm.
But I gotta see it first. I haven't seen that from Josh to say, "Yo, this man onto something." If you get what he's saying, so
Right.
this is prove it here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that's basically it for me. Looking forward to Bahrain. Bahrain is going to be exciting. This is my prediction for the race for Bahrain. Matt's on top. Oh, I have to say this is considering no crashes and stuff like that.
Yeah, of
Obviously,
course. Yeah.
the perfect race.
I feel like
The
that's
perfect.
given. You
No,
can't.
I
I feel
mean,
like I don't love each other end because if it crashed, then it's like that's not the result in your day. You have to take that into account.
yeah, for sure.
All right.
So,
Do it by pole and race.
oh, Paul. Oh,
Mhm.
Mars is taking
Again,
pole.
Ferrari pole.
No, Ferrari
Again,
pole.
Ferrari pole. Again, Ferrari pole. F is one thing that
Okay.
this do.
Okay.
This be contesting for pole because that seems to be
Well,
the only thing that they could do for the past season. Truthfully,
I
they've
don't
been
think
hot
they'll contest for pole in this
qualifying.
race. Really, I
Well,
think
we
Matt's
see.
got it.
All right.
Well,
Mhm,
yes, they'll contest, but
mhm.
Matt's got it. Matt's got pole. Matt's got the win. I got Ferrari. Oh, I got
That's what he's saying.
Ferrari or McLaren to Ferrari, yes, and or McLaren to be on the podium to fill 2 and 3. But I think
Right.
Ferrari will knock out the podium. I think Perez might be fifth. Lando or George could be fourth, and then the rest I ain't really sure. But I mean, we didn't even talk about Aston Martin, and they look pretty healthy. So I
Yeah.
think the fight is really close. To be honest,
The fight
I
after
just
number
think
one can be competitive
yeah,
for
we
the
could see
race.
the F1 rainbow definitely in the first top 10 for sure. You can see almost every team in that top
Mhm,
10. So
mhm.
yeah, well, except for Haas. Haas not going to be in the top 10. Haas going to be 19 and 20.
Probably sad to see.
Yeah,
But if you're on the
but yeah,
stream, don't forget
that's been
to put a like. You got to do the housekeeping.
for sure.
Put a like on
I
the
ain't do it
stream
right now because I didn't do
if you haven't already do it. We got some people that on the stream watching it. They smash the like button. It really helps out a lot. Pushing the videos to people that are interested in the sports world and
And press
interested in this
share.
content.
And press share and
Yep.
send to your
And share with
friends,
your friends that,
your
yep.
family, people at church, people, people in the restaurants, everywhere and anywhere.
People like barbershop, you know,
Barbershop
spread the
talk.
word.
Yep. And don't forget to follow on Spotify as well.
But yes, Spotify episode should be out tomorrow. For those who have been able to watch the stream live, want to listen to it in your car or while you're cooking up a food or doing a little something. Um,
hmm
a good way to take in some content while doing something else. Thank God for Spotify. So you should look up for that episode there, and of course follow the Instagram page for weekly updates, our predictions, all things Astro Bros.
for
So
sure.
yeah,
Couldn't be said any better. Look out for Zen also on Saturdays, people.
yeah, yeah,
We're rooting for our
uh,
boys in.
for sure. Hopefully he get a little driving in one of the what is Sauber in one of
Yeah,
the Sauber cars as
Sauber,
the season going. It'll be
Sauber
fun to see him
State.
get, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun again to
I mean,
see him get right.
he'll get probably a practice session, I believe,
Maybe,
because he's their test driver. So yeah,
yeah.
possibly we'll see. But yeah, people, that's been it for the Hostile Bros. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, we'll see you next week, peoples. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.